Hi there, I'm Mariam, and today I've got a story that might sound a bit familiar to you. It's a tale about bravery, adventure, and a big bad wolf. We begin in a faraway land in a big deep forest where the birds are singing and the sun occasionally peeks through the leaves, lighting up the forest floor below. This is where Little Red Riding Hood is walking, wearing a big red cloak. She is carefully carrying a basket of fruit to her grandma's. She wanted to take a cake, but Grandma's been told to cut out sweet things as she's getting a bit fat. Anyway, to cut a long story short, Little Red Riding Hood is stopped in her tracks by a mean-looking wolf. "Where are you going, little girl?" asks the wolf. "Well, my grandma's not very well, so I'm going to visit her because she doesn't have anyone else there. And my mum says..." Little Red can talk. The wolf cuts her short and says, "Sorry, I've got to go. Send her my best wishes. Bye." And he disappears into the forest. The wolf might be bad, but he's not stupid. He takes a shortcut through the trees to Grandma's house, breaks in and locks Grandma in a cupboard. Then he puts on Grandma's clothes and jumps into her bed, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. You can imagine how stupid he looks, but that's how the story goes. A short while later, Little Red Riding Hood arrives at the cottage and walks into the bedroom. She's not the smartest of girls and doesn't realise that that's the cheeky wolf. She is surprised, however, by her big eyes and says, "Grandma, what big eyes you have." The quick-thinking wolf replies, "All the better to see you with, my dear." "Hold on, Grandma, what big ears you have." By now, the wolf is losing his patience a bit and thinks, cut to the chase, but he still mutters, "All the better to hear you with, my dear." Now Little Red is getting a little suspicious, but still continues with one final comment. "Grandma, what big teeth you have. Are they false teeth?" "No," cries the wolf. "These are for eating you with." And with that, he pounces on Little Red Riding Hood. As you can imagine, Little Red Riding Hood screams her head off. What's the wolf going to do next? I'll tell you another time. Bye for now.